It is 12 days till the man burns, and today we're talking about art cars and art car etiquette. Because one of you lovelies, Alex Bourne, hi, was asking in the comments about art cars, like how do you kind of get on an art car, what's the etiquette? I have never taken an art car to Burning Man, so I don't know, all of the rules and the etiquette that goes with it, but I have done my best to find out. So first things first, getting an art car to actually stop for you. So there isn't a specific way to get an art car to stop. You can stick your thumb out, you can try and wave it down and it might stop for you and it might not. Some art cars have a kind of predetermined route and they stop at, the specific points that they have decided to stop at, and they're not really just stopping in random places to pick people up, even if you try and kind of flag them down. Some art cars might have stopped if you'd tried to wave them down or stick out a thumb or something, but they are, at capacity, or they're done for the day and they're going home, and so they're just not stopping for anyone because of that. So you can try and flag down an art car to get a ride on it, and it might work and it might not work. Generally, a super crowded spot is not the best place to try and flag down an art car, because if there's a huge crowd, then loads of people are going to try and get on the art car, and it's just a nightmare for the drivers and the spotters having to tell people no, you can't get on, it's too full, and so if you're in a less crowded area, there is more chance that they'll stop for you. Like I said, some art cars do seem to have kind of a bit of a predetermined route, or maybe they stop at specific places. So, if you notice an art car that seems to always stop at a certain place, that might be a good spot to hang around if you are trying to get a ride on an art car. But ultimately, don't be discouraged. If you're trying to get a ride on an art car and, you're flagging them down, no one's stopping, then, don't worry about it. It's probably just that they are full, or they're busy, or they don't stop at that spot. Art cars are not taxis. It is generally driver's choice. So if you do make it onto an art car, don't expect the driver to take you to wherever it is that you want to go. It's best to ask before you get on, or as you're getting on, where is it going? So if it's heading kind of in the direction that you want to go. In general, it's driver's choice. They are deciding where they're going, they are deciding where they're stopping, and people constantly asking them oh, hey, can you give me a ride to this place, or can we go to this place? It probably gets quite annoying for the drivers. If you get on an art car, just enjoy the ride rather than trying to make them go somewhere where you want to go. Whatever you do, don't jump off of a moving art car, don't try and jump onto a moving art car. It's so dangerous. And even though you're probably going to get in trouble, the driver is not going to be happy with you. Anyone else volunteering on that art car, they're not going to be happy with you for doing that. It's actually the driver that is going to get in trouble if you do that. There are very specific rules for bringing an art car and how the art car can be used and stuff. And if they get caught breaking those rules, then there's the chance that that art car is just going to be stopped, and it's not going to be allowed to carry on roaming around the player. It's just going to have to be parked up and not moved for the rest of the time at Burning Man. So aside from the fact that jumping on and off a moving art car is ridiculously dangerous and you could end up getting seriously hurt, there's a potential that you're getting the driver into trouble as well. And art cars are a gift to the community, so you're getting someone in trouble just because they tried to bring a gift to the community and you were not acting responsibly. Art cars do not have to let you on. In most cases, when they don't let someone on, there's a very good reason. The art car is at maximum capacity, there's literally just no space for you in the art car, or maybe you're doing something that is kind of against the rules of that art car. But in some cases, if you're just kind of not being a very nice person, you're acting a bit aggressively towards the volunteers that are running that art car, or you're just kind of causing trouble, then they may not let you on because of that. At the end of the day, they have the right to not let people on the vehicle if they feel like those people are, kind of not suitable to be on that vehicle. Like I said, there are rules with art cars, and be respectful of those. If they're at maximum capacity, or they have 2 spaces and you're a group of 5, don't bother them about that when they say, hey, only 2 of you can get on. They probably have a ton of people bothering them all the time, being oh, it's only 3 extra people, please, just this one time, we'll be really good, please let us on. If they say that only 2 people can get on, only 2 people can get on. Don't bother them about it. Don't try and get around it or convince them to let extra people on. The maximum capacity is there for people's safety. And that goes for all the rules. If you're on an art car and, someone asks you to stop doing something, you're climbing on it or something, or you're drinking on there, or doing something that they don't want you to be doing on there, then, apologize and stop doing whatever it is you're doing that you are not supposed to be doing on that art car. It's their art car, it's their rules. If you want to ride on it, you need to stick to those rules. Big art cars have spotters, and that is to prevent people from trying to jump onto the art car, trying to jump off of the art cars. to make sure that there's no one that's, you know, going to get run over by the art car or something. Just generally to keep everybody safe. So if a spotter tells you to stop doing something, you know, listen to them as well. It's not just the driver that is making sure that everything's okay. The driver is generally focusing on, you know, driving the art car. Spotters are kind of more responsible for making sure that everybody is safe. So if they're asking you to do something, make sure you do it. They're not trying to spoil your fun. They're trying to make sure that everybody is safe. They're trying to make sure that the art car doesn't end up getting damaged. You know, they put a lot of work into making these art cars, and having people, you know, climb around on things that they shouldn't be climbing around on that could potentially damage the art car. You know, they're going to ask you to stop doing that. So even if you think they're trying to ruin your fun, you know, it's their art car, their rules. Be respectful of that. Also, don't leave MOOP on art cars. Art cars are not exempt from like leave no trace. When you get on an art car, you know, that should still be a leave no trace zone. If you have MOOP, keep your MOOP with you. If you create MOOP while you're on the art car, deal with it yourself. Don't just leave it for the drivers. They are already doing something amazing by bringing these art cars along. Don't make it suck by, you know, leaving MOOP on the art car that then they have to deal with once they've finished driving around for the day. A good rule of thumb for life, but also for art car drivers and spotters and, you know, anyone that's involved with the art car. They put a lot of time and effort and money into getting those art cars out there because that's the gift they want to give to the community. So be nice to them, be respectful, don't give them a hard time. Don't make this thing that they volunteered to do a like negative experience for them. You know, they should be finishing kind of their art car shift feeling like happy and like they had a good day and they, you know, gave a gift to everyone, not kind of parking it up and being like, that was a nightmare. There was so many people that were rude and disrespectful and aggressive and breaking the rules and damaging the art car. You know, be nice and respectful to them and to the art car itself. So one thing I found out yesterday, because Papa Mike put it in a comment, thank you Papa Mike for letting us know, but this year Burning Man is trying out something a bit new. It's called BATE. Burn Area Imprecise Transportation. And it's a bit like public transport where there's like 4 lines that you can get on at specific times and it takes you like out to the deep player. So the stop points are at 4:30 in L, 7:30 in L, 9 in L and 3 in L. And the vehicles go at noon, 3, 6 and 9. Unfortunately, I don't know anything else. I don't know if there are stops along that route where they stop. I don't know if it's just like, you know, a one-way trip. I don't know if you can get back from the deep player. I assume you can, but I really don't know. So Mike did say that more information will be kind of released about it, but it is going to be a volunteer thing. So, you know, there's always kinks the first year that something happens. The stops, bus stops, I don't know if they're buses, the stops are marked with a bright green flag, so look out for those. That's also really handy for anyone that doesn't have a bike. That could be like a handy way to kind of get around. So I hope this is helpful, guys. If any of the rest of you have any tips or tricks or advice on, you know, how to get on an art car or art car etiquette, then let us know in the comments. And if you see me at Burning Man this year, feel free to come and say hi to me. Bye, guys.